My name is Nicole Garlock, and I'm the acting vice principal at Galbraith Elementary. This month in our Makerspace, we're focusing a unit around the inquiry question of what can dinosaurs teach us about animals today. So over about the last 6 weeks of prep time, we've been 3D printing a T-Rex skeleton that when fully assembled is going to measure just shy of 6 feet from tip of his head to tip of his tail. And then the students have been burying that and learning about excavation, of how they're going to excavate that skeleton, different excavation techniques, and then really thinking critically about what it is, because they don't know that it's a dinosaur yet, and how those pieces can fit together. The really cool thing about this has been that while the end product is going to be really cool, that we're going to have a giant T-Rex skeleton to put in our school, this has really been about the process of them thinking critically about what they already know and how they can extend that into new things that they're learning in a really hands-on way that involves lots of tech and creativity, and that they're really starting to make those connections with the dinosaurs just being kind of the inspiration to get them initially engaged into what they're learning about. We took some inspiration from Dr. Plaxton Elementary, who did a very similar project in their Makerspace last year. And we found a print online that we were able to take and adapt and then just scale up. And so we've been 3D printing the pieces. The kids have got to come into the Learning Commons and kind of watch as the printer is running. The tech department at the board office helped us out with some of the larger pieces that didn't fit onto our printer. And then just piece by piece. I didn't keep an exact count, but I think all in, we're at about 350 to 400 hours of printing to make this happen. So we had to plan way in advance and get all of those pieces printed. And then we brought in the sandbox, we buried it, and when they came back after the winter break, everything was ready for them to go. Now that they're learning on how to excavate it, next week they'll come back and they'll start to piece together and notice if they can see any patterns in the bones. These vertebrae look like these ones. Maybe they connect together, and really start to figure out how that might go together. We've got some reference books available for them so they can see similar skeletons and start to draw those connections. And then we'll work on painting it up so it looks a little bit more like a realistic fossil and mounting it. The plan eventually is that we will put it in the showcase in our hallways outside the Learning Commons so that the kids can see the final product of their work, because every student in our school is going to get a chance to work on this project at some point over the next few weeks.